Frankie Edgar's camp says Conor McGregor is ducking him and knows Frankie Edgar would whip his ass. This is breaking news. It is the Don Juan Banks and live from South Korea. It is the one and only Tommy Razorstein. And Tommy Razorstein has said in the past that he would like to see Conor McGregor take on Frankie Edgar. Conor McGregor 19-3, Frankie Edgar 20-4. That fight we would assume would be for the title in the featherweight division. But right now, Conor McGregor has other plans. The fight has not been announced, but it is the mega fight for the second time in UFC history. It would be Conor McGregor taking on Nate Diaz. Let's go to MMA Junkie. As the MMA world waits to hear the expected announcement of Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor 2, Frankie Edgar's manager is downright disgusted that the UFC featherweight champion isn't willing to face his client, Ali Abdelaziz, the former WSOF executive and current head of Dominance MMA management, took to Instagram to air his complaints. When history speaks for itself, Frankie Edgar will go down as the guy who fought anyone at any weight, any time, and anywhere, Ali wrote. But when history speaks for McGregor, he was a UFC champion who handpicked his opponents and chose an out-of-shape guys to fight him, and he ducked Frankie. Ali frustration stems from Edgar's position as the clear-cut #1 contender in the UFC's featherweight division over which McGregor currently reigns. Unfortunately for Edgar, McGregor has shown little interest in defending the belt, instead trying his hand at earning gold in potentially either the UFC's lightweight or welterweight division. That plan took a massive hit earlier this month when McGregor suffered a second-round submission loss to Diaz at UFC 196 in a welterweight matchup. McGregor has given every indication he's expecting a rematch next, also taking to Instagram on Friday to let Diaz know his intentions. Ali said he's spoken to multiple who hope to see McGregor versus Edgar at UFC 200, which takes place this July in Las Vegas. But he seems to think Diaz versus McGregor 2 will take that slot as well. On Instagram, Conor McGregor said, "It was a good knock. Enjoy it. We'll see the next time." Every media member I talk to, a majority of the fans, want to see Edgar versus McGregor, but Conor's coaches, since he lost to Nate Diaz, for every interview, they talk about everyone else except Frankie, Ali wrote. At this point, I'm blaming the UFC for not making this fight happen because I think it's really up to them and they can make Conor fight Frankie. I'm done with this. UFC officials have yet to reveal McGregor's next move, but it seems UFC 200 will feature the rematch with Diaz rather than a featherweight title fight with Edgar. So the answer may end up needing to take yet another fight while he waits for a chance to claim the promotion's 140-pound belt. Ali appears to have given up on the fight for his client and resigned himself to the reality of Diaz versus McGregor 2. But he's not going to pretend to be happy about the UFC's choice. It's been a miserable last 4 months talking and negotiating, getting this fight to happen. But now I realize the only person who needs to step up and say he wants to fight Frankie is Conor, Ali wrote. But I don't believe he wants to because he and everyone else knows that Frankie will whoop his ass. I have zero respect for a champion who ducks contenders. And that's that. UFC 200 place July 9th at Las Vegas T-Mobile Arena, 20,000 seats. The evening's main event airs on pay-per-view following prelims on Fox Sports 1 and UFC Fight Pass. We got the best MMA analyst on YouTube today, Tommy Razorstein. Do you believe Frankie Edgar's manager? Is Conor McGregor ducking him?
No, I don't think that. Um, I think Conor wants to, redeem himself after this loss. That's all. But I don't think Conor's ducking anybody. Um, I think Frankie um, doesn't match up well with Conor. I think stylistically, it's a difficult fight for Conor McGregor. Reason being is I think Frankie Edgar is the best, by definition, MMA fighter in the world. What I mean is this: by definition, he mixes up MMA so well. You don't know if he's going to throw a punch. You don't know if he's going to go in for a takedown or a feint or if he's going to cut a corner. He mixes up MMA so well that I think it would be difficult to predict when he's going to shoot in. And we saw a hole in Connor's game on the ground. And I think that Frankie would match up well against Connor. So that fight would go the distance too. And we haven't seen Connor go the distance yet in a 5 round fight. So we don't know what the championship rounds would be like for Conor McGregor. And Frank Yeager he has the heart of a champion. He never dies. He stays in there until the end of the until complete end of the fight. You have to knock out Frankie. You stop him. So I think that it would be a really tough fight for Connor, but I don't think Connor's ducking him. And to say that Connor is, nah, I think Connor will fight anyone too. I don't think he's, picking his opponents like he's Floyd Mayweather or something. I just think that he wants to redeem himself and is getting caught up with this whole Nate Diaz thing, which I might rather see him fight Frank Yeager, but I do want to see him fight Diaz, so I will be entertained either way.
I have to agree with you. I don't think by no way, shape, or form Conor McGregor is ducking Frankie Edgar. We're looking at UFC 200, July 9th. The new Tommy Razorstein T-Mobile Arena, 20,000 seats. And Conor McGregor is a money man. Nate Diaz is a money man. What is the money fight? And that is the money fight. Getting Nate Diaz to fight at 155, which we presume, but we do not confirm. Okay. But what we do know is that just the mere rumor, the mere talk of this fight has generated so much attention. And so when you are UFC President Dana White, you have to make the biggest possible fight necessary for the biggest card in history. And this is the fight. What was Dana White talking about before Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz? He was talking about the rematch everyone wanted to see, and that was Ronda Rousey versus Holly Holm. Holly Holm, she didn't know how much she lost, and she took the fight with Miesha Tate, and she lost that fight with Miesha Tate. And I know we're talking about Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz, but Razorstein, you did say you had something to say about that. So a fan said something about your opinion of that fight.
Yeah, here I'll read the quote. 1 second.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Razorstein. We are talking about Conor McGregor and Frankie Edgar.
You guys are. I get a fan saying you guys are clueless. Holm was winning the fight. She had the
Who was
better
this again?
strategy,
Say his
and it
name.
was working. Tate got lucky. El Guapo. I don't know his nickname or something, but El Guapo says that Tate got lucky. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard anyone say. Okay, so the statement was that Tate got lucky, which is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, Tate didn't get lucky. She worked on her angles. She learned a lot from the Ronda Rousey fight,
Yeah.
and learned that what Ronda did wrong, and she learned that Holly Holm is a character and not the rush in. Much from that fight. And, training camp. I can see how she worked on her striking and the takedowns. It was a beautiful fight. It was a performance. You know, where you blow out your shoulder. Remember when Jose Chang Sung Jung, Koreans, at his shoulder? Well, Jose out he was losing the fight, blew out his shoulder. Out got lucky. That's getting lucky. Instead of other fighters getting lucky, I don't want to take up too much time. But that's what lucky is. Lucky is not, the great game plan. And in the fifth and final, because you saw a hole in someone's game in the second round, and then you wait, and you were able to take it to the fifth round and take the person down and choke them out, and win the fight. I mean, it's ridiculous. Some of these comments that you read. Tate got lucky.
Yeah, I agree. Once again, I agree with you. I don't think that Tate got lucky. That was a dominating second round. She had a great game plan going in. When you look at luck, you look at an opponent that is potentially losing a fight and they are able to pull out a victory out of nowhere. That's lucky. Okay, that's lucky. But let's go back to Frankie Edgar and Conor McGregor. I think the term ducking is a very strong word to use. It's not like Floyd Mayweather. You're looking at Conor McGregor, who moved up 2 weight classes to take on a ranked 5 lightweight, and he was about to take on the lightweight champion Rafael dos Anjos. So I cannot consider Conor McGregor ducking. I do not back up Frankie Edgar's manager. I know that they would like a title fight. I would expect that Frankie would take another fight. I heard some rumblings about Jose Aldo. When Frankie fought Jose Aldo, that was a close fight. And as you said, Tommy Raystein, Frankie Edgar will go all the way. He will go the distance. And it's a fight that we want to see. I've even heard that Conor McGregor's camp said that they would love to fight Frankie at Madison Square Garden since MMA has been legalized there. But I say this, it's not good to look past any opponent. And I do feel sometimes that Conor was looking past, Nate Diaz and saying what he was going to do next at UFC 200. And I think that is very, very dangerous, Tommy. I don't think that any fighter should look past any opponent and talk about another event. You have to get by that first event first. That first
Yeah,
fight.
I know. Looking past people destroy you.
But you are emphatically stating that Conor McGregor is not ducking Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
Conor's not ducking Frankie.
For Tommy Ragerstein, live in South Korea, and the Don Juan Banks. Peace.
Peace out.